All right. You're living in Miss Foster's, I'm not sure what to call it, a group home or housing home or something
Shared
on
housing.
South. What do you call it?
Shared housing.
Shared housing. Time of filing, the arrearage was $4,000. Ms. Foster, what's the current arrearage?
It's 5,000 now.
2 more months.
Yep.
So he hasn't paid in 10 months.
Correct, since last November.
The reason I stopped paying rent was because back in, I believe, November, I lost power in my room and I told them about it. They did replace a breaker, but it only worked for like maybe an hour or two. And then I lost power again and they refused to do anything about it. So I started putting my rent in escrow. And I don't have all of it anymore. I had to spend some of it on car trouble.
So when was it ever fixed?
No, it's still not fixed.
You've been living there for 10 months with no electricity in your room?
Well, sort of. I have an extension cord under the door, but the only outlet that it can reach to also has a problem. So I can only run 2 or maybe 3 devices at a time, or else it flips the breaker and the whole house loses power.
He did report that the power was going out, and it was going out in the whole house. I did have an electrician come out. I actually had 2 to make sure it was safe, wasn't going to catch a fire. They both said the same thing. He cannot run that much different appliances in that one room. And he was trying to run too many. But he has had power every day because it is a plug, like he said, right outside his door was a plug. So he's had electricity ever since he's been there.
But he has no electricity in his own room?
No, just right outside because.
That ain't getting it. The city, I'm surprised this passed code inspection from the city.
No, it did because he's trying to run, it was a new room added and new electricity in that room. But they said he could not run 5 and 6 things on that. That's what I was told. I had 2 electrician professionals.
All right, well then that's a very poor $500 worth. If you have a room that you can't run your TV and your mini fridge and your computer in it.
He hasn't missed one day without power.
But he has to run an extension. He has a room that he's renting that has no power in it. That isn't.
It does have some. You just can't run as many appliances on that one day he wanted to.
All right.
Each room is required to have 2
receptacles?
Yes, sir.
So he has 2 working receptacles in the room?
Yes. And also when one of the electricians came in to check it, he wasn't there, so he called the police because he didn't want us in his room to fix it.
So, Mr. Roberts, do you have 2 functioning receptacles in your room?
They are attached to the wall, but there is no power to them. They don't actually function right now.
Next, what we're probably then going to have to do is set a hearing with testimony from these electricians and the city inspector and but for starters, we will continue it to next Friday at 10:45. Ms. Bauer, would you like to consult with Mr. Roberts now that he's here?
I'm certainly happy to do that. It's obviously his choice, but.
Yes,
All
please.
right. Mr. Roberts, do you want to speak to the attorney from Legal Aid?
Yes, please.
All right. In the meantime, what all do you have in there, Mr. Roberts?
The 4 items that are in use like constantly are my TV, my Xbox, my air conditioner, and the mini fridge, because I don't need the mini fridge too much anymore, but we used to have somebody stealing food out of the like public fridge, so I use the mini fridge. And then I do have a microwave, but it stays plugged in, but I don't use it. You know, it only turns on when I use it. You know what I'm saying? So
You're right. What's TV, Xbox, mini fridge, microwave? The AC alone is probably enough to trip it. If I put all that in a room in my house and tried to do it, it would throw my breaker.